It's the National Football League on EA Sports.
And we'll see this team's sure-handed tight end.
He should be one of his quarterback's best friends this week.
This should be a good one to watch.
All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Well, now how about this return? And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Here's a 2nd and 8. Here's Smith. And that's incomplete. When you look at this defense, they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
This secondary has really developed into one of the strengths of this team. They diagnose, they cover, they run, they hit. What a nice team.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now the first carry here for the running back. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. From the 41, here's a 2nd and 7. Throwing is Smith. Looking middle, and that's complete. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. Now a handoff looking right. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Smith now to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Smith. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else. Ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their 8th-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. They'll run with a rookie drafted in the 3rd round. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get-off on the snap, jump too quickly.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. They'll keep it on the ground. Redmond. And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43. Now, these two teams faced off earlier in the year, right around mid-season, back in Week 9. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
They'll let the QB keep it here off the option. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. Down at the 35, it'll be 2nd down. You look at this defense. They're just below the cut line for top half of the league, 17th in the NFL against the run.
One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're not quite at the top, but they're far from the bottom. But let's face it, they want to move up. In order to do that, they've got to look at each other and make sure everyone's taking care of their assignments in order to play the run better.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 20-yard line.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession. From the 20, here's a 2nd and 4. As they've got it as we resume action. Escaping the pressure right. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first. They'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And his guys have taken the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself.
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. And I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So take away the touchdown there, as that's going to be ruled an incomplete pass. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now. Okay, so you just took the big loss. Now what are you doing on 4th down?
Well, we have a change of plans now is what we have, because I think they were looking at the play sheet, trying to dial something up to go for it on 4th down. But after that loss, that goes right out the window. Now you have to kick the field goal and hope to come back down the next time and score.
So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the 2nd drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Going a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with
like
sports.
That. They crack a forehand back out and they get a backhand. What was the serve? What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like that.
A really good backhand.
With some nice top spin on the
a
whole
little
thing.
bit.
I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Back to throw, Smith. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 23 yards the pickup there.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. And he's going to go down again. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss loss of 6 yards on the sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
The home team's offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And he's been a real threat in the red zone and beyond. As you take a look at the NFL leaders in rushing touchdowns by a QB, you'll notice he's worked his way into the top 5 at this point in the season. He finds his man, complete. That's Grant. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. They're going to look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. The slot man in motion right. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd down and 1. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Back to throw again. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
A 2-yard loss brings up 3rd down and 12.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
Even after the penalty, still a full 7 yards to go on 3rd down. Back to throw. That is caught, and he gets into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. 26 yards. And his guys are going to take the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this 2nd quarter. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. Pushing his way through. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Back out comes this offense now late in this 1st half. A slim deficit here in a 1-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Looking sideline, incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
And here's a handoff out of the gun. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. They bring their punter out there now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. The home team's offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Second down and inches. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get
adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offense...
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown! A big play there. 77 yards as his guys are able to extend their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 17-3. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down. From a couple of yards beyond midfield, here's 2nd and 8. They'll try the air now with Smith. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And that's good for a gain of 6. And now it's 3rd and 3. Smith. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
Off of play action, here's Smith. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 13 yards, and it keeps the drive moving. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 51 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. Second and goal from the 1. They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And his guys have made this a one-score game now. Now the try here for the extra point. And it's up through the goalposts. It's 17-10. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So now out comes this offense, led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 43-yard line.
Here's a give up the middle. And some room to maneuver. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A really good pickup of 20.
And now the red flag out on the field. We'll have a challenge forthcoming.
Play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. Winds up a very good call there defensively to challenge that one, as that now will wind up an incomplete pass.
Flushed it. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up fourth.
Partner, you know what I'm going to say before I even say it.
Yeah, you just cannot take a sack in that spot.
You're exactly right. You can't take a sack in that spot. Potentially now, a 3-point swing right there.
And they'll send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now it's Smith. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety.
At this point, I think it's a surprise when he isn't close to being sacked on a passing down. The amount of times he's hit the deck today, I think a lot of us are reading safety before they even took the snap. Simply a merciless pass rush every step of the game, and that rush earns a crowning achievement there.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20.
On the return, Johnson. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Steps away to his left. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line.
They'll set up to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the fourth. Here's 2nd and 8. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. They'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A big-time sack there on 4th down. And as a result, possession switches hands. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, let's go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
To throw is Smith. Quick hitter here, it's complete. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown. From the gun on third down, Smith. The throw left sideline falls incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30. Again, Smith. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. I called it no gain there on the 1st down play. Now a 2nd and 10. On the RPO, that's complete right side. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time.
He finds his man, complete. That's Grant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete.
Yeah, he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Here's 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 43.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for
Neutral zone
jumping.
infraction. Defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves him in pretty good shape. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
Throwing is Smith. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch a go-ahead touchdown. And you have both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, to keep the rest of the team relaxed, too.
They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10.
Here's Smith. And his throw is incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of, and in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of, trying to engineer a 4th quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
This is 1st and 10.
Throwing again is Smith. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there.
With his 6th rushing touchdown on the year.
And his guys are just an extra point away now from taking the lead in this game. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused because they still have some work to do?
A very important extra point there, up and good, and that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
The situation for them offensively as follows. Down 20-19, under a minute 20 to go. A possible crippling loss to their playoff status in the balance, barring a late score.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. take it in for the touchdown. A big play there. 68 yards as his guys are able to regain the lead.
What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the fourth quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
All right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come. They'll try and throw for it. And it is incomplete, so they can't convert for two. And now the lead stays at 5. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
So now the story changes. Trailing by 5. A little under a minute to go. Now their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on first down.
Here's Smith.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Well, this nearly intercepted. Probably should have been. Had he caught it, it would have sealed it. Instead, one more chance coming up on fourth down.
Here we go on fourth. Smith. Wide open receiver complete. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Boy, going for it at this stage in the second half, back in the shadow of your own goalpost. Explanation, please, Mr. Davis.
I'm not sure I'm going to give you a great one, but here's a thought that I had. I wonder if maybe instead of going for it with your offense and announcing your intentions, that maybe you run out your special teams and fake it. Because even though teams say, hey, we plan for the fake all the time, I know from experience, you look at the situation and say there's no way they're going to fake it here, and they probably had a better chance if they tried it that way.
And they will take a knee here. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Well, you really can't ask for much more than what we just had here. Not only a close game that went down to the wire, Charles.